talking about the Ole Miss defense just a moment ago before you walked in. What was it that Ole Miss did on that side of the floor tonight that made it so tough for your guys to get into a rhythm offensively?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job pressuring us and being really physical with our ball handlers. We knew they were going to hard hedge ball screens, and that seemed to really give us issues today, something that we've seen before. We got to do a better job handling that. And I thought our attack of the 2-3 zone was really subpar. We've got to do a better job against that 2-3. Basically, what we saw was just pressure, denial of everything, fight through every screen, really be in your face man to man, and then their zone. They played that 2-3 zone quite a bit, and we did not attack it well. And I thought that the defense that they played on us really bothered us. Obviously, only shoot 34% from the field and only score 46 points in the game.
How much of attacking that 2-3 zone involved the lack maybe of high post touches? It seemed like when you could get the ball to the high post, your guys were able to score, create some things against it.
Yeah, you want to get the ball to the high post so that you can collapse the defense. But sometimes we were getting in there and they weren't really defending. We've got to get back to really working on that. We did yesterday in practice. We worked against the 2-3 zone, the 1-3-1 that turns into 2-3. They didn't even go to the 1-3-1 that much. They were just sitting in the 2-3 and spacing out. And so that's something we're going to have to work on here moving forward because we'll see it again, obviously.
DJ tried to help you get back into it in the second half, made some threes. What was he able to do in that second half to get on track that maybe he couldn't do in the first half against their defense?
Yeah, he had a couple good looks in the first half. He just missed. I thought the second half he just started making the normal shots that he normally makes. He did a good job in that respect for sure. But we have to get more help. We've got to be better offensively than we were tonight to be able to beat anybody in our conference. And you can see Ole Miss was 1-4 coming in. They're much better than their record. And, we knew that going in. They have a really good experienced group of guys, a bunch of guys. And I thought Buffin was a key player for them today along with Schuler. They're veteran guys that returned from last year's team. Schuler played great. He had 22 points. Really was good offensively, starting right from the beginning of the game. But I thought Buffin's play with his 5 assists and 9 points, and his defense was really a key for him. And they had a guy like Vaughn who came off the bench who hasn't played that much. He played a big role for him tonight, as did Rodriguez at the 3 spot. Their 3 spot really was effective when you look at the rebounding numbers. So, give those guys credit.
Thank you.
We'll start the media portion with Paul, and we'll go to Tyler. Paul, go ahead.
Coach, did you kind of sense before the game, it seemed like your team just did probably the lowest energy level they've had in playing your rival. Did you kind of get a sense of that in the locker room?
Not at all. I thought our guys were excited to play today. We talked about it. I'm really I can't explain it in terms of that aspect, but it doesn't matter what the team records are or anything. This game's always going to be a dogfight, and they came and took it right to us in terms of the energy and how hard they played. Give them credit.
Tyler, go ahead, and then we'll go to Courtney.
And it seems like this year you guys will take 1 or 2 steps forward, and then all of a sudden it's 1 or 2 back. Just what do you make of the inconsistency of this season? You chalk that up to the youth, or just kind of?
Yeah, I think some of it's youth, and some of it's the ability to handle success. We win a big game. All somebody's talking about the possibilities for this team, and you've got all these people trying to get into these kids' ears. You've got to stay level-headed, and that obviously was a very humbling experience tonight for me and our team. And so, any thoughts about us being, something that, is more than what it is right now is evident. I mean, we've got to get back to, what got us to where we were 4-2 at one point and had a chance to be 6-0, and it wasn't today.
Just to kind of quickly follow up on that, what did you learn about your guys when it started going south there? Because obviously at the beginning of the second half, you guys still had a chance to win this. You were right in it, but then it starts going south. What do you learn about your guys in that moment?
Yeah, we have to have more maturity and handle adversity better. We made a good comeback. We were down 8 in the first half. They had too many offensive rebounds. I think we cut it to, 3 or 4 there in the second half and had real opportunities. And we made some real defensive mistakes too, where, we didn't rotate down or we didn't get a hand up on a shot. They're knocking down threes. And so, it's going to be, a tough film session come Thursday when we watch this game before we practice.
Courtney, go ahead.
Coach, are you looking for your team to be more creative offensively?
And what do you mean by that?
Just, are you looking for them to kind of, I don't know, make some different plays that maybe they're not doing right now?
No, I think what we got to do is just like execute what we're doing. And I'll give you an example, Courtney. We're running a set where we're setting a screen to try to bring a guy from off the baseline just to get a catch, and they're fighting right through it. We're not setting the physical screens we need to set. We're not coming off shoulder to shoulder. We're not executing against a team that's really playing great defense like they did tonight against us in their man. And then our zone attack, it was really, really poor, and we've just got to be better. That's not creativity. That's just understanding what you're trying to accomplish. We didn't screen well enough against the zone. We didn't get the ball moving side to side. And, I thought that we would be, a little better against a 2-3 zone. In fact, when you're a player, you should want to see a 2-3 zone because it means if you move the ball right and attack well, you're going to get open shots.
We'll go to Joel to wrap it up.
Ben, this is obviously something that fans look at. I don't know how much it's really something that you all dwell on much, but I think Ole Miss has won 11 of the last 15 in this series now. Just how much does that kind of stick in the minds of you as the coach and with your players? Just how well Ole Miss has done recently in this series.
It's our rival game. I don't know how far that 11-15, that's got to go back how many years, 7 years maybe. But, end of the day, that's something that we need to rectify and got to do better. Last 2 years we've split with them, I think. I think the last 3 years we've split with them. That's obviously always the game you mark down on your schedule, Ole Miss game, because it's, the two rival schools.